Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving straight into the Windows 93 Paradox to see why realizing that code is actually literature and not just technology is the absolute key to reclaiming our digital lives. We all interact with devices all day long, assuming we understand them, right? Well, today we are pulling back the curtain to see what's actually running our world.
We've all been there. You're working smoothly, everything feels incredibly intuitive, and then, bam, a fatal error log violently shatters that shiny graphical illusion we rely on every single day. When a system crashes like this, that comfortable illusion of a physical workspace completely vanishes. It instantly exposes the raw, rigid text underneath, kind of reminding us that our familiar desktop, yeah, it's just a thin coat of paint. So this jarring glitch forces us to slow down and ask a really profound question. What actually lies beneath those shiny buttons? Why have we become so entirely disconnected from the actual physics of our machines? I mean, what is happening underneath the desktop wallpaper and those rounded app icons? When the illusion breaks, we are forced to confront the literal physics of computation.
Section 1. Crossing the chasm. Okay, let's break down this massive physical divide between human imagination and computer hardware. Our minds operate on what researchers playfully call OS alpha. It's this messy, warm place full of fuzzy, associative human thought and lived experience. But the computer's brain, the arithmetic logic unit, or the ALU, it is entirely blind to meaning. It's a cold, deterministic environment that strictly operates like a clocked voltage metronome. There is a massive physical chasm between our warm thoughts and the machine's cold reality. Section 2. Crossing the semiotic bridge. So how do we safely connect these two totally alien worlds? We cross what's called a semiotic bridge, and we do this in 3 distinct steps. First, our fluid human intent initiates the strategy. Second, we use highly structured text, think JSON or Python. This text acts as a kind of divine script. Finally, that script perfectly translates our fluid imagination into strict instructions that the unyielding silicon logic gates can actually execute. Text is quite literally the only way across that gap. When you really strip away the magic, it's actually incredibly profound. By using deterministic code, we can see for sure that there is no magic ghost in the machine. There's no artificial soul. We are quite literally using structured text and trap lightning to trick rocks into doing our bidding. That is the actual reality of computing. Section 3. The elite scribe monopoly. Look at history. Whoever controls the text controls the whole shebang. Thousands of years ago, ancient Tup Shahu scribes hoarded the knowledge of complex cuneiform writing to protect their oligarchy. Fast forward to today, and we're seeing the exact same dynamic play out. Tech giants are building what our sources call a 2026 great enclosure of cloud AI. By heavily abstracting the underlying code away from you and hiding it in the cloud, they are completely monopolizing computational power, setting themselves up as modern digital kings. Section 4. Code as operational literature. To break this modern monopoly, we need a fundamental paradigm shift. We've been taught to misclassify code as cold technology, meant only for an elite technical class. But actually, scratch that. It's not. Code is highly expressive, explicit operational literature. It functions exactly like a strict, binding legal contract. When you write code, you're authoring a binding story that reality literally has to execute. Recognizing it as literature empowers everyday users to take back control. Section 5. AI as digital scripter. This exact literary framing fundamentally changes our relationship with modern artificial intelligence. We have to absolutely reject the myth that AI is some magical creator or a god. It's just a digital scripter. Think of it as a mindless von Neumann babblefish that blindly recombines data based on math. It produces this automated miasma completely lacking praxis, the actual lived experience required for true authorship. And this is exactly why our interfaces matter so much. When we rely solely on AI chatbots and shiny graphical user interfaces, we're basically reduced to chimpanzees pointing and grunting at colorful levers for reward. We trade deep human expression for convenience. But when we use the command line interface, typing out explicit text commands directly to the system, we preserve the deep, exact nuance of human language. We bypass the illusion and become true orchestrators. Section 6. Becoming the sovereign pilot. To stop passively renting your digital life, you must become a sovereign pilot. That means actively rejecting the probabilistic guessing of cloud AI. You have to embrace the manual sweat of the brow to type out your commands. By wielding your keyboard as an agentic typewriter, you orchestrate digital swarms with flawless mathematical certainty. You demand absolute truth from the machine and achieve undeniable forensic accountability.
And hey, this isn't just abstract theory. Our sources detail a verified test case where a user wrote exactly 66 lines of local code. Those precise text commands translated perfectly into an automated, routed, 581-kilometer physical journey in the real world. This proves that explicit local text directly creates undeniable real-world momentum. It transforms written literature into physical action perfectly.
So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. As the great enclosure of the cloud attempts to wall off your digital reality, you have a choice to make. Will you just be a passive consumer renting space from an AI king, or will you achieve hastiety, that profound state of realizing your exact, unique individual intent as a sovereign pilot? The command line is waiting. The choice to author your reality is entirely yours. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning the systems you use.